have not read this book in a very long time, so I'm excited to read it to you. Now, the reason I decided I wanted to read it to you is because one third grade class listened to the story and said they didn't like it much, and I was shocked because this is one of my all-time favorite books. Of course, they're all one of my all-time favorite books, so I don't know what that means. But I can say that this is a good one. It's called Caps for Sale, and the story and pictures are by a man named Esfer Slobodkina. I have a hard time pronouncing that. But it was written in 1940. Now, 1940 was before my dad was born. So that book is this old, 1940. If it's 2000, what is it now? 2019 now? 79 years old. This book is 79 years old. For 79 years, people have been reading this book to kids. Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm.
That's like 7 years older than my dad.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Now, it's called Caps for Sale, and it's a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. Now, you have to know what a peddler is. A peddler is a person who tries to sell things to people. What do you suppose the peddler's going to be selling? Caps. But some monkey business gets in his way. Once there was a peddler who sold caps. But he was not an ordinary peddler who carried his wares on his back. Oh no, he carried them all on top of his head. First, he had on his checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets holding himself very straight and tall so as not to upset his caps. And as he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." Back then, it would have been a lot more than it is now. This was written in 1940. One morning, he just couldn't sell any caps. Nobody was buying. So he walked up the street and he walked down the street, and the whole time he was calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted a cap. Nobody even wanted a red one, his most popular. Well, he began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "Yeah, I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said. And he walked out of the town. Slowly, slowly, so he wouldn't upset any of his caps. Do you know what it means by upset?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean make them mad. What does it mean?
Make them fall.
Make them fall off, right? Well, he walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "This looks like a nice place for a rest," he thought. And he sat down very slowly under the tree. And he leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First he checked the checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps at the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. Anyone see what's going to happen?
The monkeys are going to steal his caps.
He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he felt refreshed and rested. Dun, dun, dun! But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. But all he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, behind the tree and no caps. Then he looked up into the tree. And what do you think he saw? Monkeys wearing caps? Oh boy! On every branch was a monkey. And on every single monkey was a gray, a brown, or a blue, or a red cap.
Oh, it's a hat wearing a monkey.
The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He really didn't know what to do. So finally he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking a fist at them. "You give me back my caps." The monkeys only shook their fists right back at him. Monkey see, monkey do. And they said, Then the peddler got even angrier. So he shook both hands at them and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." Well, what do you think the monkeys did? They shook both hands at him and they said, Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But what do you think the monkeys did? They stamped their feet back at him and they said, By this time the peddler was really very angry. He was so angry that he stamped both his feet and he shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both of their feet back at him and said, At last, he became so angry. Okay, guys, think. What do you think is going to happen here?
He's gonna throw down his cap.
He became so angry that he pulled off his own cap and threw it to the ground and began to walk away.
Oh yes, and
What are the monkeys going to do? Well, each monkey pulled off his cap, and all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree because monkey see, monkey do. So the peddler picked up all his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" And that is the end of the story. Did you like that? Oh my gosh, get this, you guys. Remember how I had a hard time pronouncing the author's name? First of all, let me spell the first name for you. It's Esphyr, I think, Esphyr. Girl or boy?
boy.
No. Esphyr Slobodkina was born in Russia. She grew up in Siberia and Manchuria and emigrated to the United States in 1928, where she attended school in New York City. I would not have guessed. Would you guys have guessed? Thank you so much for coming and listening to the story. I hope you liked it.